Oh, hi, guys. Mamrie here. Before we get started, and I know it's weird to start a podcast like this, things got very real this week in the fact that our Wi-Fi sucked. Grace is in Mexico taking a much-deserved vacation. I'm in Detroit visiting Chip in home-to-home suites, non-sponsored, and the Wi-Fi is kind of crap, so bear with us. This one's a little choppy, a little shorter than we want it to be. We will talk about Drag Race next week, but in the meantime, we hope you enjoy our ramblings. Okay, I just wanted to give a little caveat.
This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart. Woo-hoo.
This is how, just our coffee cups alone is how you can tell you're at a cool, trendy resort in Mexico and I'm at a Home 2 Suites in Troy, Michigan.
Yeah. Slightly different
hotel vibes we've got going on. But definitely, we've got one thing in common, and it's bad Wi-Fi.
We got some bad Wi-Fi. This is going to be quite a curious episode. We will see if we can get through it. We are doing the best we can. As always, my assumption is I'll sleep incredible in Mexico and I'll wake up early and I'll watch the new Drag Race and I'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and fresh full of thoughts about a brand new season. And then I woke up, or you told me last night, you were like, Mayday, they have posted 2 episodes on launch, not one, which in any other circumstance would be we
Bonus.
are fed, mama.
Yeah, mama. I'm too full, mama.
But
mama, did I just go to an Applebee's on an island? Mama.
Exactly. In this capacity, I woke up and I was like, oh no, I only have an hour before I'm supposed to podcast with Mamrie. I can watch 1 episode.
Oh, absolutely. I thought I did the thing where I downloaded it to watch it on the flight yesterday, and then it wasn't downloaded. So even this morning, Chip was in the bathroom brushing his teeth, and I'm watching Drag Race. I'm just watching the runway. Also, besides our bad Wi-Fi, I did the thing where, because I'm used to when we podcast together, I'm so blessed, are our IT person. You take care of everything. So when I'm by my lonesome, I always remember I have dead batteries in my recorder. So we've got some real ghetto generic batteries that I took out of the alarm clock.
All right. So we got a lot working against us today.
Oh, we're already to one. So we'll see.
Excellent.
This podcast might be 15 minutes long.
Well, then let's jump into it.
Why don't we
start with Vanderpump Reunion?
Here's what I'll say.
You did
about
watch that, right?
I did watch it. I don't remember anything except one thing.
Yeah.
And that is Lala calling out Katie for talking shit about Ariana about when she was moving to New York and basically abandoning their sandwich shop. Yeah. And honey, it looked like Katie got caught.
Well, did you see what Katie put on her Instagram after that? So she put up a big thing saying that I believe to the effect of I was a little frustrated and I didn't want to take feelings like this to Ariana when I knew she was going through so much. So I went to a place where I thought I felt safe so I could express myself and actually talk through it before I eventually brought it to Ariana, which I did. And we've had many conversations since. And so she was just being I guess, kind of getting ahead of the idea that she got caught, but also expressing this isn't a surprise or a sneak attack or a blindside. Ariana and I have talked about this since, and we're good. If anything, it looks bad on Utah Lauren that she has tried to divide or drive a wedge between them. It just feels like a little a lot. There's clearly a lot of shit that was talked directly or indirectly about Ariana's success as a byproduct of this scandal. Mm-hmm. And people are afraid to say or not say their real feelings about it. And it seems like Lala is breaking.
You're going full Rachel Raquel. You're leaning into. Did Katie say Utah Lauren?
Because I checked Twitter, and that's how everyone refers to her on Twitter as Utah Lauren, which is the fans are thoroughly upset with her and haven't enjoyed her all season. But the people are saying too, when she was saying that Katie and Sheena live in the comment section, which I thought was an interesting thing to bring up. you'll see Elliot also in this corner probably. He's getting some coffee. I thought that was really interesting to bring up because the social media part of this show is such a big part of this show. So for them to talk about the way that they are influenced by how people speak about them throughout the season, and that's what Lala, I think, was trying to call out, that like, you guys live in the comment section, you see how people respond to you, and then you act
you change accordingly. Yeah, no, I hear that. I feel like Lala is really just thirsty this season because of twofold. One, because she's jealous of Ariana, and also like Katie, I also think like she always wants to be like, I'm the fucking realest, most loyal friend you have ever met. But meanwhile, like the internet is like, Katie Maloney's been a rock. Yeah. So like, I think that whole like, I'm such a ride or die queen title's been stripped away. Also, what sucks, another thing I think with Lala is like, James is kind of, knock on wood right now, got his shit together, has a normal, chill girlfriend, from what we can see. And I think Lala is kind of probably missing that little upper hand, because I feel like no matter what with James, you always knew James was like secretly in love with her.
Yeah. And he was also like a little bit of a mess. And it feels like Lala got sober, which is incredible. And like, I think was like one of the first ones to like get her shit together on this show in a way that kind of can give you a bit of a moral high ground, like unconsciously. And so people are getting their shit together on the show. And I think it just seems like there's a lot of stress. And okay, here's my question for you. What do you think about Ariana not watching the entire season and going to a reunion? I mean, in a way, like, I totally get her protecting her peace and all of that. And she has like plausible deniability of not having seen anything to talk about it at the reunion. So
I don't know. I mean, here's the deal is I've never experienced her level of trauma. Yeah. So like, I mean, I wouldn't want to go back and watch a season of me in like 2016.
No, oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I barely want to go back and watch my own YouTube videos that I edited.
That we decided what was going to be put out there. Yeah. So I totally understand her being like, I can't do it. Like, now, does it play into the narrative other people have of like Ariana does the bare minimum?
I'm just going to scooch this over because I can see Elliot in the reflection just eating his bacon over the sink to try and be out of the way.
This has just become a mukbang. Elliot's doing room service. So funny.
You're good, babe.
Not a lot was uncovered during this reunion, but not a lot happened this season. But I'm looking forward to more. And now I'm going to switch us into Survivor for the simple sake of my batteries. From the dollar store.
Let's get into it. Okay. Survivor, this is a cursed season.
This is crazy. Like, this is insane with these idols. What the hell?
What's happening? Everyone's a little bit cursed. I cannot believe that this has gone down the way it's gone down. I'm looking back at my notes. Okay, Charlie is playing an incredible game.
I don't know if it's because of his Tay-Tay inspiration. Did you see that he had 22 written on his hand on 22nd day? He is... I mean, I haven't watched, obviously, but like a handful of seasons of Survivor. But for me, I'm like, I don't think he's done anything wrong yet. No, like, I think his gameplay is great. I think everyone likes him.
Exactly.
I just, so few times do you see someone who you're like, oh, they're making moves, but like he's a duck because like the stuff is all happening under the water.
Yeah, exactly. He's so palatable as a human, like that he blends in an non-threatening. Like, honestly, him announcing that he's like a huge Taylor Swift fan, like, takes threat off of his name, even though he's winning challenges, even though he and Maria are kind of like puppeteering. I did love that this kind of came down to the two of them wanting to blindside each other, which is wild.
I mean, it had to happen.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because they're two just like kind, nice people, like lying to each other. That you're just watching two people that don't want to lie to each other on the beach.
I wrote down, I said, like, the second you say we're going to be friends after this, no matter what, the second you hear that from someone on Survivor, you need to know that means all bets are off. We're gunning for each other. Like, you 100%. Don't say that unless you know this might be the last conversation you have before you like risk them never speaking to you again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. I will say, okay, just to go back to the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. Beginning we've got
Ben having a total brain fog moment and writing down Kenzie's name, and then her being like, was that Venus? Which they could have just said that was Venus, but he was like, I'm gonna clear this up real quick. And what did he say in his talking head? Yo, for real, not lying. I was supposed to write I wasn't supposed to write Kenzie's name down. I was supposed to write Venus. And that's such a real like moment.
So
they're like, oh,
funny.
But Ben is struggling, man.
He's really struggling. I mean, like, the night terrors.
Yeah.
And the thing is Kenzie is being there like so hardcore for him, because here's the deal. If we were on the island and you were waking up with panic attacks, I would wake up and talk you through it and do all that. You know what I wouldn't do? Go for walks in the middle of the night. And like, that's a next level of being there for a friend to be like, you know, I'm exhausted. I'm going to wake up and take a night beach walk with you to like calm your brain. Poor guy is going through it, but he still has like such a funny attitude. Yeah. Like, you know, like he's still, when they were doing the challenge and they're doing the maze thing on the hooks, he still says, you know, I'm playing Pinball Wizard in my head, Jeff. Like all the 80s references are so fantastic, but I hope he gets through it because it's so interesting. I feel like there's so many people left that like you really weren't expecting to make it this far. And with Ben, I was like, he's so nice. Yeah. There's no way someone isn't going to just use him as a pawn and then sacrifice him at the altar.
A shield. Yeah.
Or that.
Yeah. But he's like, there's a part of me that wants to like see that eventually it gets revealed that he's had this entire master plan and he's been playing this long game. But man, you and I both get like nightmares when we're stressed about work. Can you imagine being in a 24-hour social experiment on a beach and like having night terrors the way he's having? Like the poor guy, the anxiety, I can't imagine. Yeah.
The sleep deprivation. Like I was just talking to you. I'm in Detroit visiting Chip and they work so late. So like last night I probably went to sleep like 3:30 and got up at, you know, like 5.5 hours of sleep, let's say. And I'm like, I had to wake up, get some coffee, and talk to you about Survivor. Like these people have no sleep and they have to wake up, be like, there's no coffee. There's nothing for us to eat. Let's go do a grueling physical challenge.
Yeah.
And then like strategize. Like I very much think I would be Ben at that point.
Yeah, it's like I'd never want to be on this show, but I will enjoy watching it for sure.
I would do a Survivor weekend, like knowing that we have a sanctuary 48 hours from now.
Yeah, that
and
would
I don't
be
have to work for it. Let's talk about the biggest news of the week.
Is it that Liz
took a shit?
Took a shit on day 22.
I liked Liz in this moment. She was killing me. This endeared me to Liz.
It was also day 22. That's why Charlie had 22 on his. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Liz had a bowel movement on day 22. What the fuck? Like, I can't imagine, but she did seem like she did release a lot of anger.
Yes, I think it was the turd in her with the primal scream. I mean, what I wish is she had that crazy scream about Applebee's and immediately just shit everywhere on my TV. That would have been fantastic. But I mean, I think for her, she like just didn't have enough food in her body to make excrement.
Froze.
But she was killing me. She was like, I got a new lease on life. She was like, nothing's weighing me down now. Ooh, I think you froze. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp because we all carry different stressors, big and small. That is universal, y'all. And when we keep them bottled up, well, it starts to affect us negatively, okay? Don't be constipated with your feelings. You've got to let them out. And a way to do that is therapy. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. Therapy is for everyone, okay? I don't mean to brag, but I'm not perfect, and I've got a lot of things that stress me out, and let me tell you, therapy is helpful. Someone you can talk to, someone who can help you navigate all the different things that might be bothering you and stressing you out. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, well, BetterHelp is a great place to try it because it's entirely online. I know you guys are online, okay? You're listening to this right now. I bet you've got 9 windows open on your laptop and you got a phone in your hand as we speak. You know how to get online. Why not use it for something good, okay? Use it for some therapy. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule, okay? All you need to do to get started, and I recommend you try, is you fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist. Very important. You can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge, okay? You got to try a therapist on. Not every therapist is right. It's a little dating scenario. So if you need to switch, there's no shame in that. You can do it on BetterHelp without any extra cost. So here's what you're going to do. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TMGR today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TMGR. You guys, if you're thinking of therapy, give it a try. It's a really easy, convenient way to do it, okay? And things get real, so you might need some real therapy. Okay. We're back. Look, we're trying to survive out here. We are in season 46 of us restarting this Zoom.
Yeah, as frozen as Liz's bowels. My God.
I mean, okay, so I'm very happy for her. I can understand that being like, as someone who has written extensively about traveling and not shitting for days on end. I believe it was almost 2 weeks once in Bali. I can't even imagine the relief she felt. And you could see it in the rest of her day because they go to do that challenge and she just hikes up her leg and goes, "Oh, I'm bleeding."
Yeah. At first she goes, "Liz Wilcox is back in the game." And then she is like, "I'm bleeding." And that's why I saw Twitter being like, Liz is entertaining. Like, you can't deny that.
She definitely is. Okay, so we have Charlie winning reward.
Yeah.
And the sanctuary Chinese food.
Yeah, and not only Chinese food, but letters from home, which...
Well, I was talking about the important part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Which is a challenge that they're all waiting for. They're all waiting to hear from home. They're all missing. I can't imagine how to have zero communication at all whatsoever, to be isolated on an island. Of course, they're all highly emotional. But Charlie, he gets a really great opportunity to choose democratically of just being like, I'm going to choose the 2 people that didn't win the reward last time. But then also the subtext is that I'm going to talk to these 2 people about blindsiding Maria.
Yeah, no, absolutely made sense. It also shone a light on when Maria won her reward. I don't even know if it was last week or the before. Yeah. And she did that crazy thing that was like, tell me why you deserve it, and then had them write rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
I think it was like, even though it obviously would suck to not get chosen, and especially for Maria since she has kids, but honestly, the fact that he was like, I told myself before this, before I knew there were letters, I was taking these 2 people, so I'm not going to change it now that letters are involved. I was like, respect.
Yeah, total clean hands. Maria has a very emotional reaction to it.
Very emotional.
She said, I wrote down a quote, "Part of me died today."
It was a bit much.
It was dramatic. I mean, Liz has had a dramatic moment. Now Maria is having a very dramatic moment. And I will never fully understand how intense it is to be in their situation, but I can look at it from the way it's edited and presented to me and be like, that's a bit much.
It is a bit much. I mean, surely she was exhausted and all that jazz, but it cut to Ben and he had a single tear fall. And I believe it was in honor of Maria. I think it must have been just like twofold of I have kids. I want to, I would like to hear from them. And also knowing it was Charlie, who was like her best friend. And also probably there had to be some emotion behind it of going, unless Maria is dense, and I think she's smart, of going, oh, this is officially the day like our alliance is ending, and like that's kind of sad,
That's
so
true.
It was like a huge swirl of emotion,
things are shifting.
If this had been 5 days ago, a week ago, there's no way. I don't care what he said, there's no way Charlie wouldn't have brought Maria. Like, this is like the end of an era, where it's like, oh, okay, we went mama bear baby cub on day one, and now let's go.
But so they also, which is so smart of them, she said, I know why Charlie didn't choose me, is that we said we would never choose each other for rewards so that no one really knows that we're working together.
Oh, and I missed that part.
So Charlie had every box checked of why he didn't have to choose Maria at all for this. I did see on Twitter, which I thought was an interesting point too, of people being like, can we normalize that letters from home that aren't from your kids are just as important as like letters from your kids? Because there's a way in which people that have kids seem to be like, well, I have kids, so those are the most important letters from home.
I'm like, excuse me, well, I'm getting paw prints from my dog.
Exactly.
No, Chip and I always joke because we're always like, I love you, but like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see you later. You know what I mean? Like, Chip would be the first contestant in history to read a letter and be like,
it was nice.
Yeah, she's good. She's doing well. She's doing well. You know what I mean? Everyone else is like, my mailman said hi.
I know.
Like, I don't know but again, I've never put my body through that. I have no idea how just below the surface emotions would be, but it's so funny. People will be like, this is the longest I've gone without talking to my mom. And I'll be like, I go months. I love her to death. We're just not like that. I'm good.
Yeah. The part's always so interesting. And I thought it was very like sweet that he chose Kenzie after she moved her wedding to be on this show.
Was this a reveal, or did she say that when she first got there? Because I
don't remember.
Again, I mean, I am getting so much more endeared to Kenzie. Before I was just, at the beginning, I was like, meh, whatever. Yeah. And since then, I'm like, you kind of haven't been a bitch to anyone. And if you have been, and even in the slightest way, it was on the defense. So like, I feel like in a similar way with
they were bitch to Jess in the beginning when they gave her a fake idol and were like,
wait, that was Kenzie?
Yeah, that was Kenzie and Tiff, which was like a shame because you're like,
I forgot about that.
These girls are just being a little mean, but I think it was just like everyone's excited to play the game out of the gate, and so everyone's just like acting as their like villain selves without fully understanding like the consequences and the scope of what it looks like.
That was her one bad girl moment. Since then
she's been fantastic, and she calls people exactly as she sees them, and I align a lot with a lot of her perspective of people throughout this when she's talking in her talking heads, like when she was talking about Venus, and so she's like, my little friend that is just following me around looking for an idol. But speaking of idols, Q finds an idol.
The thing is with this fucking season is that it's like when he found the idol, I thought, oh, the entire game just changed.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And it didn't because he didn't fucking use it. Like Q, everyone has, like, you have been on the chopping block since Merge happened.
Right.
So like, in what universe would you not use the idol immediately?
Because what's the alternative play? That's what I'm not understanding. Is it a points thing that like the jury, because I know in the past you've said this, pointed out too, that people have been like, I have an idol in my pocket this whole time that I haven't had to play, and the jury's like, oh, okay, points or whatever. That I'm like, is it that big of a thing? It feels like everyone was trying to hold on to an idol to pull it out at some fantasy opportune moment.
Well, also, I thought he would use it because he was secretive about it, because Q has such a mouth on him that you would think he would be going, hey, everybody, here's my idol. Yes. So if you vote for me tonight, it fucking doesn't matter. And like do that reverse psychology and like then don't play it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the idea to just hold it and think no one's voting for you and you're safe is like, sometimes Q does stuff and I'm like, that was actually pretty smart. And but this, I was like, oh wait, no, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
I also, here's what I don't understand.
Sorry, I'm being mean.
No. The thing that I also don't understand, and maybe you can make this make sense to me.
Make this make sense.
Make this make sense. Because Charlie came up, so Charlie and Maria are both planning blindsides of each other, except Charlie is, who is safe? Who won immunity?
Maria ended up, which
because
changed
she was
that
fueled
was
by the determination of not getting love.
I mean, she put that dolphin together so fast.
Honestly, I was like, this is a cool puzzle. This is Lisa Frank's puzzle. I've never seen this. And all of a sudden it came together. She just locked into another gear. So after that, Charlie came to Maria and was saying, even though it was a lie, that like people were going to vote for Q. And she heard that. And I'm like, how is she not telling Q that that's what's happening if she's planning a Charlie blindside? And because I didn't understand, I was like, where does she think she has the numbers? Is it just because Q talked to Kenzie and Liz and they were both just like actually obviously lying to his face? And he was like, I got them. They're going to vote for Charlie.
That was another thing in the Q makes me question everything. Because the idea that the girl who was literally screaming from the depths of every inch of her body mad at you 2 days ago. You think you're going to casually just go up, not even say, hey guys, what do you think about voting for? Just you're going to walk up and casually tell her who to vote for. Yeah. That she's actually paying attention, that she actually is going to, she's going to do, even if that's who she wanted to vote for. Yeah. She'd be like, well, I'm not doing it now because Q's going to think he told me to.
If I were Q, I would have played my idol no matter what.
No matter what.
Because that's what I thought was obviously. One, it was a strange edit that they showed us everyone's votes before they went and showed us everyone's votes. I was like, what's happening here? What's going on?
I think they're just so... I think producers must be so pissed that many idols have gone home.
Yeah, they're finding clever ways to edit and make it seem like it's not going to happen this time.
They're like, now the game is just, are you going to play the idol or not?
Wow. Yeah.
Now, I wonder how many people are left?
5.
So will they re-release the idol into the wild?
That I'm not sure.
Or was that just there was no idols played this season?
Other than Jess's fake idol in the very beginning. That was so comically fake.
This season, do you remember Banu?
Yeah, this is the longest season. This is how they all feel. They all feel like epic sagas by the end of this like Odysseus tale or whatever. Yeah. Odyssey. I just didn't understand. I just still don't understand why you wouldn't play an idol for yourself in that moment. Your number one is safe. Mm-hmm. You're the only one. Like there's 4 other people that could be voted. But I think they're all just sleepy. I think they're a little sleepy at this point, and they're missing some of the subtle nuances of the game.
They're forgetting what's going on. And meanwhile, if Hunter was there, he'd be in a tree spying. I feel like he would be so sharp. And I say that, but he also went home with an idol in his pocket and had a little paranoid tribal. I can barely form words right now. I'm thinking about when Jess, who did get sent home a million years ago on day 2, I think she was the second person. Yeah. It went Jelinski, Jess, and then Jem. Yeah. But I think about she'd only been there a couple days and she couldn't form a sentence. She was so sleep deprived.
Yeah. I mean.
So poor Ben and Kenzie.
They must be in another alternate universe in their minds. I mean, I can't imagine. They all look dazed and confused, and it also shows when they see Jeff and they just have no filter about everything they say to him. I'm like, they've gotten comfortable in their insanity on this island.
Well, Jeff also has no filter. He kills me. Even when they were doing that first challenge, he's like, here's Liz plugging her nose. It's like we can't even plug our nose when we're about to jump into water from 20 feet in the air. Come on now.
Constantly. This is insane.
Oh no, we're froze again.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay.
Y'all. I mean, truly, I feel like we should play the theme to Survivor on us trying to get through this podcast with hotel internet in Mexico.
I know. I'm sorry to Nick, our editor. I'm sorry to the audience this week. You think these things are pretty straightforward.
I mean,
like
we finally get one ad read on these episodes, and we're like, we actually need help.
I know. This week we were like, in any other circumstance we would skip this week, but we have an ad on this episode, so we're like, let's be responsible and put it together. And yeah, anyway.
Well, just so you guys know, we'll do a huge, in-depth, like big one next week where we talk all things Drag Race.
Yes.
But for this time, we just feel like it's messy. It's hilarious.
Technology, whatever the universe is doing, doesn't want us to really get into it today.
Wait, is Mercury in retrograde?
I don't know.
Can we blame it on that?
I mean, I'll blame it. Some planets are doing something somewhere that is being that is fucking with us here.
The world's laziest astrologer. Yeah. Some planets are doing a thing.
Something's conjunct something.
Well, so we have got Ben, Maria, Charlie, Liz, and Kenzie left. Is that all of them?
That's correct. And we also have
unlikely crew.
And we have the most bitter jury that we've seen in quite a second. That's at least Twitter's commenting that this jury looks bitter AF. And it'll be an interesting way. It'll be interesting to see how they vote, how they're receptive. Because I guess, will the next episode be the final episode?
I don't know. I
could Google it, but I don't want to touch anything that's going on with my computer right now.
I also haven't been paying attention at all to like who's been starting the fires around camp. Like I feel like this season
Maria could do it.
Oh, really? Because I feel like this season is a lot less like showing the actual work around camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have seen Liz fail at it.
Shock.
Yeah,
Shocker.
I did write at one point on my notes like, is Liz just a really bad player? Like, she hasn't made any moves. She's definitely not winning any challenges, to the point that Jeff is like passive aggressively making fun of her during the challenges.
Oh, that's where we froze on the Zoom last time. Her jumping off and him making fun of her plugging her nose. I was truly like, I'm not trying to get a sinus infection out here with this ocean water up in my brain. I would absolutely be plugging my nose. I can't dive. I say to Chip, I'm like, I'll never go on the show, but if I do, I'm gonna have to learn how to dive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take some swimming lessons.
It's also like notoriously people have the worst dives on this show, which is always so funny to hear how Jeff calls it out. Yeah, the fact that they can swim at all at this point in the game blows my mind.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I'm excited. We'll find out if next week is the last. That would be crazy. I'm nervous. We were just talking about how long this season has been, and I'm like, I'm not ready for it to.
I know,
I love Survivor.
I mean, in my opinion, unless they get Charlie out of this game,
he's the winner.
He wins.
Okay, interessante.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like, he doesn't have an idol, does he? No, I don't think so.
I don't think I think the idols have been one at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I think, it's him or Maria, I feel like they're gunning for to get rid of next.
Yeah, exactly. So because they know, like, unless there's some, I don't think there's a big Ben is a mastermind reveal, because that would have been mean to have kept it from us all season. But okay, well, this was fun. We'll talk about Drag Race next week.
Yes.
Enjoy your time in Mexico. Go get in a lazy river right now. Thank you guys for understanding that this was a unique experience, and this got real.
It did, sort of, slightly,
a little bit.